I was all excited. Saru had just come back from attending the first day at school. I was thinking that she would have a lot of things to say about the school, but she had nothing.
Literacy is no more considered to be a privilege. It is a human right. But imagine, what would happen if the medium in which you are taught to read and write is an unknown language? That is a challenge Saru was facing.
It was the first day at school. They were all excited. But the moment I started talking in Telugu, the medium in which we have to teach, all the children just stopped responding.
Saru is not the only one facing this language barrier in India. There are a number of children enrolling in a school every year where the medium of instruction is not their mother tongue.
Research all over the world has clearly stated that children learn a lot better when they do it in mother tongue. They not only learn better, they develop more confidence, they enjoy what they are doing, they understand what they learn, they develop a conceptual facility, and what is more important is they learn to think in language.
And that is where Multilingual Education, or MLE, can provide support to the children of minority language communities.
Today, when I teach them in our mother tongue, it is so exciting because they understand what I speak. It is so easy for me to introduce newer and newer concepts to them and take them to the next level of education.
Now Saru loves the school. MLE has changed the concept of school in these little minds. Here these children are taught in their mother tongue first. They start learning with the things that they know and that are familiar, rather than something that is strange to them.
In many books you will find words like pa, patang. In Hindi, patang means kite. But suppose in a classroom, children are not acquainted with that word itself called patang. So in that situation, children fail to understand what is that word, what does it mean. And in the classroom, whatever is discussed centering around patang, it never leads to their understanding.
These examples are just small pieces of the big puzzle that children are facing. MLE is a program developed by various organizations across the world in an effort to bridge the gap between the ethnic minorities and the wider dominant communities.
We have taken the initiative to develop the material in the mother tongue. It is not just about teaching them in their own language, it is basically connecting them to the wider world also.
How will you bridge the gap between the wider dominant language society and minority ethno-linguistic societies? Does MLE just mean that you are taught in your own ethnic languages?
There is a gap between the child's home language and the language of the school and language of the wider community, and the child must cross that gap. Now how does the child do? You don't have anything in a school system to really respect the mother tongue of the child, to bring in the mother tongue of the child, and in the process what you expect is you just throw the child into a different language environment and just wish that the child would learn.
Some children with high interest and motivation levels manage to cross over with a lot of difficulty. But for the majority, the gap is too wide and most do not succeed, rather drop out.
Any child learns to listen and understand fast. They understand much more than they can speak. Then the second level skill that child develops is speaking in his own language, and only at a later point in time when the child is ready and child is given training, child would learn to read and write.
Children acquire the basic skills like listening, speaking, reading and writing in their mother tongue. Then once they develop these skills and they gradually switch over to the other side to learn these skills in the language too, it becomes very smooth for them because they have the basic language learning skills that really work like a bridge. From one language to the other language, it can gel very systematically.
As the time progresses, the amount of time spent on state language increases. Slowly, you can introduce the children to Hindi and English too.
We cannot live in the country like this just with one language. We need multiple languages. So what the child develops in multilingual education is multilingual competence.
This whole process will help Saru to learn to read and write in at least 2 languages and thus improve her life choices and opportunities.
Many of our tribal children in the current situation feel ashamed of speaking their own language because that is a stigma. Because that's not a language of the school, that's not a language of the community, of the society at large, that's not a language of the official functions, not a language of law, language with which one can go to a government office and correspond or talk in. So a child is made to feel that his language is inferior. I think what we are trying to do, we are trying to promote through multilingual education is to reverse that kind of a stigma attached to one's own language and culture.
MLE's economical viability should not be calculated in terms of cost of the linguistic research, development of study materials and production.
The cost of MLE program per se is very, very minuscule if you see in terms of the overall scenario. Imagine the cost of an underdeveloped society. Lack of proper education is leading to unemployment among youth, which is definitely an economic burden on the country. So through MLE program and such initiatives, we are aiming at good standard of education for the tribal youth so that they can fully realize their potential and contribute to the society as well as the country.
Right from the beginning in our constitution, Article 350A for example, and elsewhere, we have always stated as a policy that every child must be educated in the mother tongue. Anything other than mother tongue based multilingual education is actually violating our basic constitutional rights and rights of a community and rights of children to be educated in their own language.
Saru is a part of a pilot MLE project in southern India. She is on her way to success because she had the opportunity to go to the school where her heart language was a medium of instruction. This is going to help her leap to new levels of development. You can help many other young lives live with dignity. The key to develop a multilingual country like India is multilingual education. Vouch for MLE to see children move to the mainstream with confidence. Your policies today can shape their tomorrow.